I grew up in suburbia on a quarter-acre block. I live on a quarter-acre block now, and I could never imagine living in a townhouse or a unit, but I totally understand why people do it. It means you can be closer to town, whether it be the restaurants, the theatre, the football, whatever you want to get to, it's just at your doorstep. So it's a sacrifice that you don't have the big backyard, but you can still have a garden. We call it patioscaping these days. It's trending because you can have a smaller space, just as green, but you don't have the high maintenance level you do with that quarter-acre block. Did I say patioscaping was trending? Well, this must have been the mistake before they got it right. As far as introducing green into the patio, this looks like some sort of torture treatment or maybe a kid's Meccano set. The good news is it's a good-sized patio. We can take these things out, clean it out, it'll take 2 minutes, and we can start bringing in layers, whether that be colours, texture, and lots of green. We're going to start with the floor because it wouldn't make sense to bring everything in, then have to lift it up and move it out to do the floor. And if you've got a good flat floor, it's a perfect way to transform is by using this click-together deck system. They click into these little black nodules on the side, and if you want to butt up to the wall, you just need to cut them off either with a jigsaw or with a Stanley knife. It's about $50 for a pack of 9, which is just under a metre, but when you take out the labour cost, it's a very cheap alternative. And you can pick it up off the shelf down at Bunny's.
Everybody get ready.
So where there's this little gap around the edges, we're just filling it with pebbles. Now, apartment living is everything for a lot of people, but it's not a great construction site. So I've ducked around the corner to Adam's little workshop. He's got the day off, he won't mind, and I'll just fill my pockets when I leave. So I'm going to do section by section and take it back to the job. Now, as far as my carpentry skills go, this is about as far as I get. But if you get it right, you'll look like a genius. I'm creating some halving joints. Now, all it is just taking out half the depth of the timber. So 2 of them sliding together, the face and the back, all end up flush. Now, when they go in, a little bit of wiggle work to get it, it is very strong. And I'm going to create a whole wall. There'll be 2 of them on the balcony. One on the right-hand side, and one on the back left-hand side. And they could be bookshelves, but in this case, they'll be perfect for planters. Yeah. With our tiles and shelves done, we're off to a good start. Done a little drawing. Trust me, the finished product will look better than my drawing. What I've got is some marine grade ply that I'm going to put a finish on and attach to the wall. That means if you get sick of the look, you can take it away and the brickwork's there. And if you're a renter, you can put it up at the next place. So once my boards are dry, I've got my concrete effect paint. So, put some swirls in there, do a couple of coats, get a bit of texture, and that gives it layers and depth, and that's what we're going for. So, put the kettle on and let that dry. Now, we saw that how to go with the jasmine, but the problem with star jasmine, if it's in a shady spot, it gets really leggy. It grows up and it leaves all these ugly branches underneath. So I'm going to replace it and use devil's ivy. Because they've got light-coloured leaves, they get the most out of what they get from the sun. Now, 2 of these plonked into this isn't very exciting, but when I plonk this inside a grow box, it sounds fantastic. And all it is a marine ply box which frames it up, so inside is like a work of art. The backdrop is going to be another sheet of that ply with the cement paint on it. Little G, I found a job for you. Just stand there and hold that. And then I'm going to frame the bottom with a lighter colour timber just to give it a bit of definition. Well, all we're going to do now is put the pot in and plant it out. We're not going to do that here. We'll put it in position first. Done a little drawing. Trust me, the finished product will look better than my drawing. But the strength comes from this little gap here. We're going to sit it over the wall, creating probably what they'd call 20, 30 years ago a breakfast bar. Now, I've got 4 pieces of ply, all beautiful straight lines, which I probably couldn't do myself with a circ saw. That's why I got them cut down at Bunnings. Now give everything a light sand. That just gets rid of finger marks or little burrs that might be on the end. And I'm going to put on a clear coat. Now these are just sitting here at the moment. By the time we put our shelves on, it'll clamp the top together and it won't be able to go anywhere. So I don't even need to drill anything to hold all this in place. Stay. About to put the brekkie bar in. I've got a little off cut of that marine ply to cover the brickwork, and then wedges here, which will bring it up to the same height as that, so this will sit nice and flush. Now you've got to take the perspective of which way your balcony, patio, veranda faces into what you're going to choose as far as plants goes. This one here gets a little bit of morning light, but it doesn't get blasted at any time during the day. So my plant palette would be the shade-loving plants. You could even call them, and I would tick the box with all of these, indoor plants. Now this is a sophisticated space. When you think of what was here before, it was probably 16 to 18 square metres of absolutely nothing. Where now, it is absolutely stunning. I can see you using this as an extra living room, whether it be knocking over some emails and getting an early breakfast out here while the sun's out, or maybe a glass of wine and relaxing in the evening. What a perfect space for a great little unit.